Rillaboom's Community Day is today, and we have a new move for this Pokemon. We're going to have access to the new move of a drum beating, which is, if you saw my video already prior towards this Community Day, the best move kind of that has been ever put into the game, in my opinion. Like, it is a very, very strong move. It is a 60 damage move, which is generally very nice, as it's also a 35 energy move. So 6 damage, 35 energy, which is already very solid. Like, that is a very, very strong attack. There's some that are a little bit stronger, like Leaf Blade, which is also a grass type move, which is 70 damage for 35 energy, but drum beating has the guaranteed chance to drop the opponent's attack by 1 stage, which gives you some artificial bulk on a Pokemon like Rillaboom, but also just generally is absolutely broken. That is basically just the same as Icy Wind, which is already used on some of the Pokemon as well, but for 10 less energy. Of course, such a strong move is sadly a little bit balanced by the moveset itself of a Rillaboom, as Rillaboom has only the fast move of Razor Leaf. Razor Leaf isn't the strongest move and not the best move in terms of energy generation, but let's take a look today here. At the Open Great League, we have some test battles against players from the community here, of course, and we're gonna take a look at how strong Rillaboom is going to be here. I'm a little bit done with the current cups, by the way. There's gonna be mostly still one more video tomorrow towards the Master Prem. Stay tuned for that, but I will very likely focus more towards the next few leaks that are coming up as well on the next few days on this channel, so definitely stay tuned for this. But the first battle here, we're going to be able to win without actually using our Rillaboom. So, as you're battling here against the community, some of them were trying their best by trying to meme, but as you're gonna see here, this is where Rillaboom is going to be the best. The Rillaboom is going to be best at kind of countering those Say-Sops, because there are quite a lot of water and ground type Pokemon in the current meta. Rillaboom is going to be able to completely wall them with the pure grass typing and farm them down with Razor Leaf, which, while it doesn't generate energy fast, it does quite a lot of fast move pressure. And so we're going to end up here against the next opponent, where we have a Lucario in the lead. This opponent kind of, I don't know, like they just waited, so I wait for them to come back as well, and now we are kind of in more of an even scenario. And I make a little bit of a mistake here, because what I'm just realizing is that I actually do quite a bit more damage than the opponent really would have done here, and I should have shielded the move up, because I would have been able to force alignment, which, what we see here as well, is going to be quite crucial, because the opponent's team itself, I think... And I know that my brother, I think, hit like 3000 Elo basically as well with Lucario, with Bullet Punch. It could be this team as well, but I know that there's a team with Lucario and I think Cresselia that is very popular. But if I would have been able to keep alignment here, and if I would have realized that earlier, I would have been actually in even a better position here for myself. But like this, the Grass is coming through from the Cresselia. We are going to be able to go ahead and get some energy here with my Bastion, as we're going to try to keep some energy as well against that Lucario. I was assuming that Lucario is running the fast move of Force Palm instead of Bullet Punch, but to be fair, both of them are very, very good fast moves, and in comes here in the back is going to be the Guzzlord. If I used a shield on my Rillaboom, went for the drum beating against the opponent's Lucario, aligned myself, I would have been in a position where I feel like I nearly could have guaranteed to win this battle. This was a mistake by me, and this is also one of the first battles I did with the Rillaboom. But trust me, there are going to be some very interesting battles that are coming up with Rillaboom, with the move drum beating, which is honestly such a solid move to go for. So, let's take a look at the next opponent, where we will face off against Corviknight in the lead. This is going to be a Pokemon that I want to kind of avoid with my backline, but it's actually not even the best for my lead either, because they have a fast move that's double super effective against Bastion. They're doing actually quite some solid damage here, but as you see, the payback is coming in, doing some solid damage, but we have the super effective damage here of the Flamethrower, which is now going to connect against them, getting the Corviknight insanely low, and that's beautiful, because if you take a look at the typing of Corviknight, you're going to see that it's going to be able to double resist the grass typing, and this makes it so valuable here right now to get rid of this Pokemon. I will use actually a shield here, because I feel like the best way of using shields for this team is to use it on the Annihilate, but they're going to reveal in the back they're going to have the Jellicent, and that's of course not going to be ideal, and I have to see if I can still do something here with my Rillaboom in this battle. By the way, every single battle that I did of course with this team here is going to be in the video, like always, as well when I do like those practice battles, because I want to always of course include everyone from the community. And I can't wait, by the way, for the new season. I have a lot of things planned for the community as well for the new season. There was a little bit of a teaser on my X recently as well, on one series that might come back, so if you saw that, hopefully you will enjoy that as well. But there's a lot planned for this upcoming season, so feel free to, yeah, of course, again, horrible matchup for ourselves. We can't go through the Gustlo, but I still gonna try my best to use a drum beating as well to my advantage. As you can see here, it actually is a great animation as well, like, look at this. But yeah, generally speaking, there's a lot coming for the new season. Would really appreciate if you could subscribe to this channel. Like, if you haven't done that yet, or around 50% haven't done that, I would really appreciate it. I have a lot of things planned, and I know that recently, especially, content was not as ideal as I wanted to have it, but that was mainly because I'm now a father and there was a bit of stuff that I had pre-produced. Trust me, there's going to be a lot of cool things that I have planned already, especially for the new season. But of course, we still also gonna focus on the current season. We're just gonna try to actually kind of more play like interesting Pokemon, trying to find out what kind of breaks the meta, to kind of try to find out which team can kind of help you out getting more rewards. But here, with this going to be a team, for example, that I would really recommend you with just a different Pokemon than Rillaboom in the back. Rillaboom, of course, it is a cool Pokemon. It has some potential in the current meta, as it's going to be able to utilize drum beating quite a bit, and it's actually really good even against something like a Florges, because usually Florges is running the charge moveset of the Chilling Water as well as the Trailblaze, and that is going to be resisted against the Grass type. And so we actually have some sort of play here, but what I want to do is I want to get rid of shields. I think that is going to be my best play, to get rid of the shields from the opponent early, because I know what they have in the back, and I know that if I go for the Rage Fist here, I will get the final shield from the opponent. This is going to be fine. I will be able to now just, go for the no shield here. Chilling Water is coming through. Actually, the could have farmed me down. But now we have Rillaboom. And Rillaboom is going to be able to just go ahead and go for the full farm down, getting a ton of energy. And also with that, making the next matchup, no matter what, it's going to be quite a bit easier for ourselves. But as we're going to be debuffed here, and as we also still take some solid damage because we have next to no bulk on a Pokemon like Rillaboom, we're actually going to have here a starter matchup of Empoleon versus Rillaboom. But we have the Frenzy Plant still on this Pokemon, by the way. Reason for this is I just don't want to use Charge TM in order to try to get somehow the Earth Power, because I just don't have any. And honestly, Earth Power isn't actually necessary for this Pokemon. There's one big problem for this team, and this is going to be Doublade though. Doublade is going to be the Pokemon that is going to be the most difficult for you to deal with. This is the core breaker for this team. And I try my best here to kind of play around it. I will be able to catch here the Sacred Sword, which is fantastic for us, because guess what, Sacred Sword is going to be double super effective against our lead, but double resisted here, so like that was an amazing catch. Then comes the Altaria, which will now allow us to go for Nice Punch, which does some sort of damage, but we got rid of basically now the hardest answer of Rillaboom, which is already kind of good. And I decided to use a shield here. This might seem a little bit weird, and it is a little bit weird, and I have no idea if it's going to help me out, but I kind of want to keep alignment here. And I want to keep the Rage Fist for the Doublade, so I get a shield already here, because I think that makes the most more sense. I have to get shields down somehow to get rid of the Doublade, but now I realize, actually it didn't really help me that much. I still have to take a hit here, I have to take the Sacred Sword. It's not going to knock me out, it's not even going to two-shot me, which is kind of important, because what we see here as well is that they get to another move, and I have to let the move go. There's no way around it. But I can still at least go for the Flamethrower now, get either rid of the opponent's Doublade or get like the final shield here. Now we have a shield advantage, and I should have stopped a little bit earlier, but I stopped out now into my Rillaboom. I can use a shield here. We do some solid damage still, even though it's resisted, just because Razor Leaf is a very hard-hitting fast move. But they're still gonna get to another move here, which is gonna be the Gyro Ball, which is gonna get us low, not knocking us out. And in the back is sadly a Pokemon that makes a lot of sense. It's kind of very close to what I usually build as my go-to teams for the Open Great League. Doublade, Licky Licky Core is, in my opinion, one of the most broken cores that you can run. Yeah, and they're sadly gonna win against a Pokemon like Doublade. I do think that's actually the same opponent that I had in the beginning, but now he has kind of his revenge, I guess. Yeah, this is the same opponent that I had in the beginning. So let's see if we're actually going to be able now, without the lag, without having a bit more knowledge, with it being a little bit more, having a little bit more play already with the Rillaboom, if we can kind of maybe come back against the opponent and see if we're going to be able to win. And if you saw me as well, usually, of course, Annihilate is our safe up here for this team. But because I know that the lead from the opponent is so problematic for both my Rillaboom as well as my Bastiodon, I kind of wanted to go ahead and get the get basically my Rillaboom out there already, try to force them out so I can still keep my Annihilate for the back. I completely forgot what they had in the back. I know at this point, of course, it's going to be Cresselia, because it's the same opponent that we had earlier, apparently. Which usually I won't really like to have on those videos. By the way, if I asked for battles, I mean one battle, because you know the team that, like, I'm not going to change my team in between. They didn't change the team in between either, but I guess now with a little bit less lag, or like a little bit, like, I think they were just not looking at their screen in the beginning. It's going to be a bit more fairer here, because it's kind of on how it's supposed to have worked out, I guess. But now we have the Annihilate. I can go for a Rage Fist that is gonna be able to do some super effective damage and force the shield here with the next one if they want to keep this Pokemon around. But they very likely just gonna leave their shield for the Lucario. But what I didn't expect is actually how much damage we do here with our Annihilate with a double boosted counter, super effective there as well, and Shadow and Step and everything together. It is going to do so much damage that we put them here into the Smackdown range for the Bastion. But is it going to be enough? Are they going to be able to get too many moves in time is my question here. If they have 2 moves stored at this point, we lose, but if they don't, we actually win. And so I was able to get my revenge basically against the opponent here, which is fantastic, as we have now the next opponent running Carbink. This is going to be a matchup that, generally speaking, isn't the worst. It's actually really good for me. Like, it's a really good matchup for myself there. But, well, let's see on how we're going to be able to play around here. As we can go for the Stone Edge, the opponent is going to be able to catch down the Guzzlord. That is not a bad play by them. And to be fair, I could stay in if I wanted to, but I decided to swap out into my Annihilate. I don't know what they have in the bag yet, but what I know is that I do like my current positioning, because the Carbink will take here the Ragers as well, but they actually swap out into their final Pokemon instead, into their Venusaur. And I know now that I have at least the alignment that I want to have, and I'm very lucky because I get this Ragers off. If I didn't get the Ragers off, this game would have been a completely different one, but like this, I'm going to force the final shield, and now they're in Flamethrower range for my Bastion. But I'm also fairly certain that they're aware that I have still some energy, and if they play it right, they could catch the move here onto the Carbink, which wouldn't be nice, and they do exactly this. And now I'm in a bit of a difficult situation, because here is things that you have to consider in this position that I'm currently in. I have a shield. I want to keep the shield very likely for my Rillaboom, but I could even use it for my Bastion later on against the opponent's Venusaur. But I need to swap out kind of early, because otherwise, if I don't swap out that early, even though I don't want to because I want to get energy on my Bastion for the Venusaur for later on, but if I don't swap out that early, I am not going to be able to align my Rillaboom for long enough against the Carbink before the Venusaur comes in. Like this though, I'm going to be able to get rid of the Carbink with the drum beating, which is going to be fine. We're going to have here now the Totem coming in from the opponent as well, which is going to be the Frenzy Plant. And we're going to try our best to go for another Flamethrower. But can we get there in time? It's going to be tough. If they have 2 charge moves stored here, we are going to be done for. Like, there's no way we would be able to win this battle. But they're not. And with that, we are going to be able to win this one. And we can move on to the final battle of today's video. So, again, if you enjoyed the video, of course, if you enjoyed the community day today, we had triple starters as well, then feel free to leave a like here on the video. I would really appreciate it. Helps out a ton. Again, it's going to be the interlude season, which is, for most people, not really interesting. For myself, neither as well. So, like, I do understand that, for example, like, yeah, people are not as interested in the game currently. I get that, me neither. But I do actually, I think I'm very hopeful for the next season. I think there are going to be quite some interesting events coming up in February with the Chaos Tour. We had some things found in the code, which I might even take a look at as well soonish with the Mewtwo. And maybe Mewtwo is coming, Mega Mewtwo coming for the Go Tour. We don't know yet. I could see that for the next one. Yeah, by the way, I don't go for the drum beating because it doesn't really matter. Like, it really doesn't matter. I just hardwall the opponent here in the final battle. Sorry, like, there's nothing I can do, or they can do here in order to win this one. I just completely destroyed the opponent. And so I can take this as, like, a little bit of a talk at the end here. Good game to them. They have no chance. Like, they have 0 chance of winning this battle. But, yeah, I'm excited for the next season. I think there's going to be a lot coming up in the meantime. I think there's going to be some interesting events coming up as well with, like, new Pokemon. We have, like, Glamora coming up as well very soon in Pokemon GO, which you're going to take a look at as well. We have, I think, some more Pokemon coming up as well. We have new Shadow Pokemon. There's a lot coming up for Pokemon GO, and I have a lot of things planned for the new season, so definitely stay tuned for that. But yeah, as we'll see, final battle, it's game over. So yeah, let me know down below how many shinies did you actually get to do throughout this community day. Would be interesting. I actually had other appointments at the same time as well, so I didn't go out at all and play. So I got, I think, 2 shinies so far. It's still 40 minutes for the community day, but it's gonna be it for today. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I will see you then. Bye bye.